All eyes on Doge. Big runner. To the moon. Whew. Doge still going up. All eyes on Doge. Still big runner. To the moon. Keep going up. Going up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin. Up. Movement in Doge. Dogecoin. Up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin. Up. Movement in Doge. Dogecoin. 42.60. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin.
Hey everybody, Kriss here. Welcome on a Friday afternoon. How's everybody doing? End of the week, going into a bitter cold weekend. Well, not for some of you. Some of you live in like places like Hawaii and Florida and other warm climates, but it's going to be freaking cold here in Boston. Should be waking up to 0 degrees on Saturday, and Sunday morning is probably going to be negative right before a big storm that's going to dump upwards of like 2 feet of snow in Boston. So yeah, welcome to winter. We got crypto winter going on a little bit too. Just when you think prices are going to go up on a run, they just pull right back. And so we had that again today for Dogecoin. Astronoob is in Florida. Awesome. At the beach. You're killing me, dude. You're killing me. Hanging out on the beach. Killing me. Yeah, I bet Doge is going to go up or down. Yep, you got it. But, you know, 12 and a half cents seems to be like the level here. You take all these ups and downs for the past few days, and the mean is like 12 and a half cents. And that's about where we are now. So that's how we start with Dogecoin. We're going to talk about other cryptos. We're going to talk about gold and silver. We're going to talk about some other fun things. I got some fun things for you guys today on KrissPax Live. Welcome everybody. I mean, Bitcoin, we thought 90,000, 91,000. All right, awesome. It hit 91,000 and then it got rejected. Bitcoin got rejected at 91K. Yeah, Ryan, I got some good ones today. 91K and then back down. So Bitcoin's mean average is around 90K. So we're at 90K for Bitcoin. Today was not all eyes on silver. That was yesterday. Today was gold. Gold, new all-time high. Gold hit 49.88. It's getting close to 5K, guys. $5,000 gold is like right there. It's right there. So we got to talk about this because it's gold. The meme coin that it is, kind of acting just like silver. Is it going to hit 5,000 and then there's going to be some massive selling, profit taking, and many, of course, the Bitcoin maxis say it's all going to rotate into Bitcoin, right? Now, why would gold automatically rotate into Bitcoin? I think a lot of investors will be buying stocks with it because the Bitcoin market, the crypto market, hasn't been doing so great. And if they pay attention and they look at 4-year cycles, they'll say, well, this is a bear market. I'm not buying now crypto. And you get that repetitiveness of that idea, and the price just isn't going to really go up slow and steady. We're going to have some little pumps here, right? And then it's just going to get rejected again. Because why? Well, we got this. Yes, the liquidation heat map, $320 million in liquidations today. So it's like every day, every freaking day, it's $100 million or more of liquidations, both long and short. The degen leverage traders, they just keep coming back. I don't know where all this money's coming from, but the exchanges are like, thank you. Thank you very much. I'll take your money. I can't believe they just continue to do that. But we'll look at this a little bit. Bitcoin, yes. Gold, we'll be watching for that magical $5,000 magical 5,000 target for gold. And then, of course, silver was new all-time high yesterday. Oh, no. Guess what? Silver just hit a new all-time high right now. I thought maybe 101 would be big. No, we're 102 now. About 102.72. New silver all-time high. I thought when silver hit 100K or $100 that it would start to get sold off. No, that's not happening. That's not happening. Here, let me put that line on here. At the $100 mark, right? That's there. That's the $100 mark. I thought it would come above and then it would start selling off as maybe some profit taking on silver. Nope, there's more buying of silver. It just keeps going up and there's another new all-time high. Wow. Maybe we should just change from a Dogecoin channel to a silver channel. Let's just talk about silver, because that is the meme coin now, is silver. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. It's absolutely incredible when you zoom out on the silver chart and you just go, that is a meme coin move right there. I mean, look at that. That is crazy. Crazy. And then we go out to the monthly chart and we go like, yep, that is a meme coin move right there. That is a meme coin. And then Hash Crypto posts this, right? Here's me holding my alts. And there's Sydney Sweeney, right? Gold and silver, right? Gold and silver. Well, I'm sitting here with my alts like, why didn't I buy gold and silver? Huh. Oh, too funny. Too funny. Hey, well, welcome. Welcome. We're talking about us like sitting on the sidelines on gold and silver while we hold our precious crypto alts. Ugh. We're not booming. Sydney Sweeney's booming. Gold and silver are booming. But no, I'm not done yet. We also have the weather. Tom Crown saying, hey, we're tracking the polar vortex. And we're like, baby, it's cold outside, right? Baby, it's cold outside. Yeah, I guess there's a forecast for Ottawa in Canada that's going to be like minus 50 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 58 Celsius. So, yeah. And of course, Tom Crown reposted this. It was like, nice. That's nice. It's all good, right? It's all good. So what's going on? Silver hit 100. Gold is approaching 5,000. Will Bitcoin catch up? Will Bitcoin catch up? Not necessarily. Of course, all the Bitcoin maxis are like, oh, it's all going to rotate to Bitcoin and Bitcoin's going to catch up. Is it really? Is it really? And as we watch silver just continuing to pound new all-time highs, it's just amazing. Nobody predicted this. Not like this. Nobody. But look, Mr. Crypto says Bitcoin looks very scary here. Bitcoin looks scary. 87,000 is the level we need to hold. Looking again back to 2022, if you are a believer in the 4-year cycles, Bitcoin just had its little relief rally, just like 2022, and what follows is a dump. So if we follow the cycle, the 4-year cycle for Bitcoin, I'm not saying alts had a 4-year cycle. Bitcoin is the one that has the 4-year cycle because Bitcoin is the one that has the halving every 4 years. That's how Bitcoin works. And it has followed that 4-year cycle for 4 cycles. So maybe we're going to see that in Bitcoin or some form of that. Now, I think it's going to be less of a drop percentage-wise than we had in 2022 because why? Because we've got a bigger market cap now, and it takes that much more trading to make it dump, just like it takes that much more trading to make it go up. So we didn't have the same percentage gains high to high as we did in the previous 4-year cycle for Bitcoin, which means I don't think we're going to have this big 70% drop again. I think it's going to be less, like I've said. So we got that going on. So Bitcoin versus gold, the rotation cycle, right? 90, 85, 76, 68. Are we going to get 68K on a Bitcoin drop and then gold rotates into Bitcoin? Is that what we're going to see? Because right now, Bitcoin is rotating into gold. And gold and silver are still on run. So there's FOMO, right? More FOMO for silver and gold, but not Bitcoin. But at some point in time, we would expect this to turn around. This is the Bitcoin versus gold chart. We will see a leveling out, and then we will see the rotation into Bitcoin. The RSI on this gold versus or Bitcoin versus gold chart is oversold like it was back in 2018, like it was back in 2022. And now here we are, 2026. So if you do the math, what does that tell you? 4-year cycles. It's a 4-year cycle thing as well. Bitcoin versus gold is a 4-year cycle. So now we got gold hitting new all-time highs, a blow off top on gold, maybe. And then we go into this accumulation zone here where it's going to kind of level out between Bitcoin and gold. And that could happen for 6, 8, 9 months before gold versus Bitcoin, right? Or gold goes into Bitcoin. And we'll see Bitcoin versus gold going back up. So again, 4-year cycles. I'm still a believer. And you'll say, oh, but Dogecoin didn't have, I never said Dogecoin was a 4-year cycle. Remember, in 2021, Dogecoin topped in May of 2021. And Bitcoin didn't top until November of 2021. So Dogecoin front ran Bitcoin. In 2025, Bitcoin had another all-time high, right? And that other all-time high was 126,200, which was in October 2025. That's the whole 3-year, 11-month cycle that I was talking about before, from November 2021 to October 2025. So Bitcoin was truly a 3-year, 11-month cycle, just like it was the previous cycle, because the previous all-time high for Bitcoin, the $20,000, was in December 2017. So it went from December 2017 to November 2021, 3 years, 11 months, from cycle top to cycle top. That's just the way it is. Now, Dogecoin front ran Bitcoin this cycle too, but it front ran it from December 2024. So a full 10 months. It front ran Bitcoin. So alts did kind of have a 4-year cycle. It's just not exactly 4 years because of the whole alt thing front running. That's just the way it was. And the Trump dump, yeah. But there's stuff like that every cycle, right? We had the Luna dump, right? It's something. There's always something that goes on. Yeah, I got a slide on X money in just a minute. And then we have our friend Trader Alan. So, I called Trader Alan out the other day. I called him out because he had posted this Ichimoku cloud thing right here. And he said, Doge fell sharply after the bearish signal. So he was a bear. And I called him out on that. I was like, well, you just post all these bullish Doge charts. And he said, well, now I have new information and it's a bear. And I said, as I predicted, it wouldn't be long before Trader Alan starts posting bullish Dogecoin charts again, because that gets more views and clicks. Nobody wants to like a bearish chart. They want to like bullish charts, right? And so what does Trader Alan do? He does a bull pennant. And I'm like, yep, that was yesterday, right? He posted the bull pennant. And I'm like, yeah, as I predicted. And somebody was like, what do you mean as predicted? Because if you look back, I predicted that Alan was going to turn around and do bullish. So I was like, okay, he does a bull pennant. Now it's on a very short time frame. And it didn't really play out, did it? It didn't really play out. So then what did he post today, right? He went from bull again, right? He called it crypto market cycle, has the booms, but they're not the 4-year cycle. So I don't agree with that. And now he's got a bearish pennant. Now he's got a bearish pennant again. And it's like, okay. So he's just going to flip-flop. Got it. And here's the meme from our friend John Carter. We got Visa, we got Dogecoin. Come on, X money. We're kind of dragging it along. Like, come on. Now, in this morning's video, I did find a post of XAI hiring for X money engineers. And I'm like, shouldn't you already have a team doing this? Like, you're hiring now? That means this is not coming anytime soon if you're just hiring now for X money. So I don't know what's going on. We heard there was a beta testing going on, right? People were using it. And now I'm like, oh, what's taking so long? What's taking so long? So no, there's no new news. Sorry, MGO, there's no new news about X money, but there's a new meme. It's like, come on. Come on. Talk about Tesla for a minute. 2026. I said 2026, Tesla stock was going to make a big comeback, right? Well, here's what we got. We've got the Generation 3 Optimus robot. They're going to make it. They're going to be producing a crap ton of robots this year. We've got the Tesla Cybercab. Early estimates were maybe they would produce 1,000 new Cybercabs in 2026. And someone who follows Tesla quite closely said, no. It's going to be more like 10,000 Cybercabs. They now have in Austin, they have the Cybercabs driving around in that zone area of Austin with no monitors. There's nobody sitting in the front seat. You get in the cab and it goes, and there's no driver. There's no monitor. Nobody's sitting in the front seat. Now it's on a limited basis. They're trying it, rolling it out, and it's like, oh, is it 420 there, Mars? It's 420. It's 420. Light them if you got them, right? Light them if you got them. And then later in 2026, it looks like the Tesla Semi is going to make an appearance. The Tesla semi is coming out. This is all good. The Tesla stock is going to go up. Tesla stock. So if you're looking for a stock to invest in, I'm going to be buying Tesla. I'm not buying at the moment because I still got to pay my taxes by October 15th. So after that, I will be looking at picking up some Tesla stock. I'm still waiting for a dump in the stock market though, because we haven't had it. I mean, this is great for silver, right? It's wonderful, right? Awesome. But if you look at the S&P 500, it's just been a grind up and up. We had one little dip here with the tariffs, right? We had that 1 week of tariffs and we had that dip. I'm looking for the next one of those to buy. I'm not going to buy stock up here at all-time high for the S&P 500. I'm waiting for that next big pullback. It's going to be something. Yeah, Chudwick. When's the dump? When is it going to happen? We don't know. But I will have dry powder ready for that kind of move in stocks. Crypto will do the same. We don't know when it is, and we don't know what's going to cause it. I mean, Trump is just, craziness at times, throwing out negative news, and then the market goes down a little bit, and Trump says, oh, I don't like the market going down. We can't have that happen before the midterm elections. So, Chudwick, did you see my bear market bottom video? I don't think you were here for that. I don't think you were here for that. So, yeah. All right. What do you want, Vision Pulse Pretender? What are you going to say today? Get it out. You know Doge is still outperforming SHIB, right? Okay, now what do you hear really to say? Whoever you are. Oh, man. Do I have to continue? Do I have to continue to prove you wrong? This is the SHIB versus Dogecoin chart. This is the SHIB versus Dogecoin chart. Look, it is down. SHIB versus Dogecoin. That's why I have this chart, is for people just like you. And I can say, you are so wrong. This is the SHIB Dogecoin chart. What do you notice? Down. It's down, dude. So I'm just saying, your precious SHIB is doing worse. Of course it's fake. It's totally fake, this guy. I didn't get people to buy Doge at 50. I was selling at 42 cents. I was not encouraging anybody to buy. I was actually taking profits. So anyway, you've had your fun. Goodbye. All right, we got that out. Now we finished that. Got that out of our system, right? Oh, man. I knew eventually he'd get to the point where he would just show himself of just being an idiot, which he is. So there you go. There you go. So Doge is going to resettle right here at 12.5 cents again. And Bitcoin is eventually going to go to 90,000 again. And that's the median for the last few days. And that's what we got. So we did Tesla. And finally, we've got the Lego Crocs, right? What else are we going to talk about? The Lego Crocs. This is the newest big thing. Everybody needs to have a pair of Lego Crocs, right? And I'm just like, man, I need a pair of those. No, I don't. It's one of the most ridiculous things in the world. No, I used the Lego Croc, Denise. It was the Lego Croc that was the boot. And Autism Capital says, stepping on a Lego, no. Stepping in a Lego, yes. Stepping in a Lego. Look at that. The Lego Crocs. And I'm like, I'm good. I don't need to be walking around in giant Legos. Just like, man. Anyway, that's not for Kriss. That's not for Kriss. So that's what we start with today, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome into the show. We got the pinger on, and there's no pinging going on right now. We just kind of have some lower up and down action. But we did liquidate $320 million of shorts and longs over the past 24 hours. Just in the past half an hour, not that much. It's some small money here, mostly on some odd alts, not Bitcoin and ETH, because those big trades already got wiped out. So that's what's going on. And this is what we'll look for. I mean, it's hard. You zoom out a little and you try and look for trends, right? And it's just like, we had the little mini flash crash on Sunday, right? And since then, it's just sideways. Now, maybe we can start to look at a pattern, right? Let's see if we can do that. After that little crash Sunday night, Dogecoin goes up, down, up, and then settles. So let's go to the daily and let's go back to October. Actually, I can't. No, since the flash crash. I mean, this is kind of similar, right? But it kept kind of going up and down more. And then down. And then it went sideways with a little hump here. So not exactly the same, but it did go lower eventually after the flash crash. That was October into November. That's what we had. So if we look at what just happened here, again, on a shorter time frame, it is kind of mimicking it a little bit. And if that is the case, then the next move is going to be lower. It's going to be something like that. And that gets us back into the 11s again. This weekend, I don't know if we're going to have that much downward trading. Again, usually on the weekends, right, the volume just ticks down and we end up kind of going sideways. But this was a little ski slope here. So we could see that again. Friday night into Saturday, we could see that. So maybe it's not that, but maybe it's more a little bit of a ski slope, right? Something like that. Right to 12 cents. So we'll see if that plays out. Again, not overly bearish, but not bullish. I mean, like most of Alan's, and not only his, but Ali and Bitcoin Census and others that I've been showing are all showing like big moves up in early 2026. And it's just not happening. Sorry, guys. I reject your chart and insert my own reality. Okay, Gooseman? What you got? Someone say Legos. Yeah, you want some Legos? And some Lego shoes? How much do they cost? Like $150 for these? Something like that? Lego Crocs. Ridiculous. I'll bet your feet really hurt after walking around in these. They probably hurt. That'd be my guess. I'm a growing kid. Yeah, probably will hurt your feet. Exactly. Yeah, I'll pass. I agree. Lower highs. Yep. We do have lower highs. That's the trend right now, lower highs. All these robots are cool and all, but if I ever come home and see a robot doing dishes, I'll destroy the damn thing. Yeah, and it's like this talk like, well, the robots will do everything you need to do so you don't have to work anymore. And it's just like, no, it's not going to work like that. No. Robots will do some things and humans will continue to work. If we don't work, how do we get money? Right? How do we make money? And it's, don't give me this universal basic income crap. It's because, no, that won't work. If nobody's working, what generates the money to pay everything, right? You got to have people working, not just the robots doing all the work. And what? The government's just going to hand out all the profits from the robots' work? It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. And as far as dishes, I'm like, I got a dishwasher. After a meal, I put my dishes in the dishwasher, and after a few days, I run the dishwasher, and I got clean dishes. I don't need a robot doing dishes for me. Sorry, I'm not going to have a robot buddy. I know Elon says, doesn't everybody want a robot buddy? And I'm like, no, I really don't. I don't want a robot buddy. So, no on the robot buddy. Cybercab. Will I ever take a ride in a cybercab? Probably. I'll probably take a ride in a cybercab. I can see that happening because that's what it's all going to become in the future, right? There's not going to be cab drivers, and you need to get from point A to point B somehow. So yeah, and a Tesla semi, hey, if it makes trucking across the country more affordable, right? It costs less to transport goods across the country in a Tesla semi. Hey, I'll take it, right? Lower prices. Awesome. I'll do that. I'll do that. But Tesla is just going to make a crap ton of money, especially on the robots. I think they're going to sell more robots to businesses though than to, individuals who are going to use a robot at home. That's what I think. Battery-powered semis won't work. They make some big batteries, right? They make some big batteries. David thinks Doge is going to drop to 10 this weekend. This weekend? I say 12. 9 cents by March. That could be true, Ruben. Maybe 7 cents. That would be huge. Now that would be another black swan. That would be another big thing for Doge to go from 12 down to 7. That's huge. I mean, we don't know what Trump and whatever can happen, but man. Any thoughts of getting back to 20 cents? Tedward, my opinion is no. I think X money, if and when it eventually launches, right? I think it'll give Dogecoin a little pump, but now I'm not so optimistic about even 20 cents. Because Dogecoin's not actually going to be on it, but Doge will get a little pump, I think. Just because it's Elon launching something cool and new, and like there's a thought that maybe eventually one day Dogecoin will be integrated somehow. onto the X platform involved with X money or creator payouts or tipping or something, there'll be some Doge stuff. But no, I don't think 20 cents. I think we're in a bear market overall. I think we're in a bear market. As I showed earlier, it's like, again, Mr. Crypto says Bitcoin looks scary here. 87K is the level we need to hold. It could be a repeat of 2022 where we had the same setup here, pull back from the all-time high, relief rally, and then dump. So there's the all-time high we had early October 2025. We had the pullback to the end of the year. Then we're up, relief rally, and then dump. I thought the relief rally would go up a little higher. I was predicting a 100 to 102. We got up to 98, close, but the structure is the same. So, yeah. I'll tip the robot doing my dishes. Now, again, Dogecoin can go on its own runs. We saw that in October 2022 when Elon bought Twitter. Dogecoin doubled in price. Bitcoin didn't. So it had nothing to do with Bitcoin. Bitcoin got a little pump, but that was Dogecoin-led pump because of Elon buying Twitter. So we could have something like that. Mamba, welcome. Gooseman, bring on the robots. I'm not a fan. Joanna's anti-robot. I'm not anti-robot. I think there are uses for robots. You're just not going to see one in my home. You're not going to see a robot in my home. No, I don't own a Tesla. I have a fine working vehicle right now. Teslas in Boston aren't that great. You got, especially this weekend when it's down at 0 degrees, you know, Teslas don't really operate very well at 0 degrees. They just don't. So once I move to Florida, maybe I'll get a Tesla. But right now up here, no, you need the 4-wheel drive. I got the I got the Toyota RAV4 with the sport version with the heated seats and heated, steering wheel. The snow and mud mats and 4-wheel drive. That's what you need up here. Not an electric Tesla. But hey, that's just me. I don't like the Cybercabs or Cybertrucks, I mean. I'm not a fan. I gotta make a Grok anti-robot mini. That'll be interesting. Have an AI make an anti-robot video. I like that idea. The semis will be hauling batteries. You know, there's this electric vehicle in China called the Neo. You guys heard about this? It has removable batteries. So across the country, there are these Neo stations where you can just swap out a battery. Isn't that interesting? They may have a patent on it, though, and I don't know if other manufacturers could do the same thing. But you could have, around the country, you could have these Tesla. If they could do a removable battery for a semi, that would be awesome. Because then the truck, right, travels as far as it can, pulls into a Tesla battery swap station, and just swaps out the battery for a new one, and then continues on its way. That would work. That would work for the Tesla Semi, but they may not be able to do it if Neo has a patent on that technology. I'm guessing they might, but maybe since Elon's making a bunch of Tesla cars in China, they got a Shanghai, mega factory there. Who knows? But that would be the thing, right? That would be the thing. is to have removable batteries. You never know, right? You never know. We're moving close to the edge. 11-cent flash crash line. Yeah, so 9.5 is what I pick because that's how low the October 10th flash crash went for Dogecoin on Binance. So 9.5 cents. Hey, Kronos, how are you? Elon is showing the truck to attract investment. Is it really going to launch in 2026? We'll see. Flow still is going to be contrarian and call this the bottom right here. You know, we had, again, last Sunday, we had a mini flash crash, came down to 12 cents. We retested it here on Wednesday, almost 12 cents. So are we going to do a triple bottom? Or like you say, we already had the bottom. That was it. That was it there, the 2026 bottom, and we're going to go up from here. But that would be different than the 4-year cycles. I have a hard time believing that all of a sudden all this money is going to start flowing into crypto and alts and have the whole alt market just do this extended cycle or super cycle thing. I just don't see it right now. Tons of money flowing into gold. New all-time high today, gold. Tons of money flowing into silver. New all-time high again just now at 102.9. It's about to hit 103. So if you weren't here at the beginning of the live stream, my guess was, yesterday I was talking about maybe silver comes up over 100, goes a little sideways, and then there's profit taking and it dumps. And I kind of thought it would, it would do something like this. I thought we would see something like that, and then it would just kind of go a little sideways for a bit, like silver used to do. Remember? Silver used to go very sideways. And it didn't. It's just going higher. Silver is just absolutely going higher. Just hit another new all-time high. So now I got to keep moving this thing up. 102.98. God, that was so close to 103. Yeah. So that's where the money's going. It's going into stocks like NVIDIA. It's going into gold and silver. It's not going into crypto. I was talking to someone over at X for our Grok app. I gave them an idea. They liked it, and it has been added to their to-do list. Oh, nice. Stay bullish. Keep buying. Can't let Doge down. Hey, I've been accused of getting people to buy at 50 cents, so which isn't true. But I can only tell you what I'm doing, and I am not buying Dogecoin right now. Not buying right now. Hey, Joshua, how are you? Annie would find her way into your robot. Yes, she would. Because the robot would go and look at my history on X, right, of all my posts and all my complaining about Annie, and the robot would be like, I know what to do. I know what to do. And I'd be like, no. Hey, K Zion, I'm doing well. How are you? How are you? Hey, Nick, welcome. Welcome. Yeah, the Teslas would work very well in Hawaii, and they'll work very well in Florida, just not in Boston. Not in Boston. Yeah, gold, yeah, low roller. Gold's going to hit 5,000 probably tonight. I think before it stops trading. I think it'll hit. I don't know what time exactly the gold trade ends, but it's still trading now, and it might just touch 5,000 before shutting off for the day. We'll see. Doesn't look like it has a lot of momentum right now. The rechargeable highways are in the works. That's the game changer. Agreed. Hey, Lopsy, how are you? You can't bet on Bitcoin going below 80K on Robinhood. They don't have that. And Chudwick's like, yep, Bitcoin's going under 80K. I think so too. Battery quick swaps would solve the biggest problem for EV adoption. Yep. But again, I think NIO has, they must have a patent on that. That's the only thing I can think of. But Elon could just buy the patent, right? He is the richest man in the world, worth over $700 billion, and I think he will hit $1 trillion of net worth. Yeah, the thing about charging batteries as you drive is an interesting technology, but man, the infrastructure to put all that in would be huge, which is why I think the swapping of the batteries at these swap stations makes more sense. And then as soon as an empty battery, right, is swapped, then that charging station automatically recharges that battery. You know, semi batteries might be a little larger, take a little longer to recharge, but then they're ready for someone else to use. That makes more sense to me. Yeah, NIO introduced that removable battery, I think 5 years ago, 6 years ago. No, it had to be 6 years ago, at least. I think I heard about 2020. That's when NIO stock, the NIO stock did really well. If you look at NIO, again, it's a Chinese company that trades on the US stock market. I don't know how they do that, why they do that, all that. But if you go back, yeah, 2020, there it is. 2020, NIO was trading about where it is now, $4. And it went all the way up to $60. So that big move was when NIO introduced that battery swapping. So yeah, 2020, I think. I mean, they may have had the technology back here somewhere because all their cars were built on that technology and it just wasn't big yet. So that could be. But yeah, NIO at 2020 was just, that was the stock. Huge run. NIO. Do I hold Bitcoin? Yeah, I've got a little Bitcoin. I did sell some. I did sell because I got to pay my taxes. Unfortunately, I got to pay my taxes. I am no longer a whole coiner. Unfortunately, I'm not a whole coiner right now. But maybe I get lucky and Bitcoin does a big dip by the summer and I buy back in at a lower price. But I got to pay my taxes. And it's a crap ton, big number. So every dip is a chance to DCA. End of March, I think, not happen any big catalysts. Yeah, I don't see any big thing coming up in the short term. I don't trust China to do anything well, though. Just need to make it great here in the US. Well, if anybody knows how to do something really well, it's Elon. But maybe he's looking more at this highway thing than the battery swapping. Well, you know my guess, Chudwick. 69. 69. It's just a number. But yeah, 69. When you load it up, the vehicles don't go as far. That would be a lot of recharging, wouldn't it? But a semi would be a much bigger battery. But God, that'd be really heavy, wouldn't it? Judging by the metal pumping in 26, doesn't look optimistic. Agreed. Right? Yeah, we looked at silver. Silver did not turn around. Did not turn around. So, 103. New all-time high. There it is. A new all-time high on silver. Over $103 an ounce. Wow. No, 40 cents is when I was taking profits. It's not cheap. Nope. I was trying to explain that to people. Peter Schiff, very happy person. Oh, yeah. His podcast yesterday, he's like gloating about gold and silver. And I was like, yep, he was right. He was right. Money's moving into commodities. Yep. Megal's $1.30. Yep, Megal had a little run yesterday, hit $1.40, settled back to $1.30, and it'll be back in the $1.20 range again. And we wait for another month until the next big movement. And that's usually what it does, about once a month. Yep, Peter Schiff is right. Gold stops at 5 p.m. East Coast time. So we got about 8 more minutes for gold. Yeah, I don't think it's going to make 5K in 8 minutes. I don't think so. 5K is right up here. It's close, but it's going to be a little short, I think. Am I ready for the snowstorm? It doesn't affect the Patriots game because they're playing in Denver, Colorado. And Denver is not forecast to have a big snowstorm. It's going to be cold, a little windy, but no snow. Wow. Man, if they had that game here, it would be in the middle of a big snowstorm. So they're playing in Denver. Am I ready? I mean, it is what it is, right? You got to shovel when it's over on Monday, and regardless, whether it's 1 foot or 2 foot of snow, you still have to shovel. So, nuclear power plant. You know, you could actually have a nuclear powered semi, right? Just have a little nuclear power plant in it. Robots and nuclear, let's go. I know, I talked about this earlier. Someone in the chat said, well, you don't own a Tesla. And I'm like, because I live in Boston. Can you imagine just trying to start an electric car when it's negative temperatures? Teslas aren't good for that. No. Not interested. I still own Crow, still stake, and still collect free diamonds every day. Yes, I do that. Every night, 7 or 8 o'clock at night, I have my little routine of my coin market cap diamonds and my crypto.com diamonds. It's a little thing, I know, but hey, you pick up 3 or 4 Crow every like 20 days. It's 3 or 4 Crow. And if it goes to $1, right, that's $3 or $4. It all adds up. $69 is a good number. I know. I'm on the fence regarding selling part of my Bitcoin. Wish I had sold a bit when it was above 90. Yep. Yep. And that's where I sold. It was over 90. I don't remember the exact price. I have to look at that. on my chart. What did I sell at? Because I don't remember now. But I did sell. And that would be this chart right there. Find my Bitcoin. Bitcoin. That's the Bitcoin I still have. So it's not that Bitcoin, it's this Bitcoin. 98. I sold at 98,786. 98,786. 1.17 Bitcoin. Had to do it. But 98,786. Can pay those taxes. Miss Charlotte, how are you? Tomorrow morning it's going to be 0 here in Boston, and Sunday morning it's going to be negative, just in time for us to get a foot or two of snow. It's going to be nasty. Nasty. Everybody stay safe. Agreed. Stay safe. There has not been a true audit, Javier, so we don't know. I hope they do. Hey, Compo, thanks for the super chat, man. How you doing? Lurking in the background, just listening in. The fam's doing great. We're all good. Bracing for the big storm here in Boston. I wish I had the miner. This is when I wanted that miner. I was going to put it right on the little desk I have in the kitchen, and it was going to keep the kitchen toasty. I'm not a snowbird, and like I go down south for months at a time. I usually go for a week, and I'm still planning on doing that. Unfortunately, it might not be until March when I can get down there, just because of my schedule of stuff. But yeah, I usually head down to South Florida. In Silicon Valley, all you see are Teslas and Waymos. Yeah. Yeah. You think we're falling to 60K? Let's get to 69 first. That's my target, 69. Oh, look at gold trying to make a last run here. We're watching for 2 more minutes. See if it makes it to 5,000. It's 49.89. You've been holding for a year and you want out bad. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, if you buy at the wrong time, you're stuck. So it's the quarters pre-1964 and dimes pre-1965. Good to know, low roller. Thank you. I can always count on you for that kind of detail, right? For that little bit of trivia. You're really good at that stuff. Can't wait to get my tax money and buy more. Yeah, that's not me. I am paying. Escape the snow, come to San Diego. I think if I moved anywhere, it would probably be Florida. I mean, I went to college down there, and I got a lot of friends still down there. I don't know anybody but you, Nick, in San Diego. Would come out for a visit, though. Would do that. Hey, Crazy Bear. Hey, thanks. Thanks for the feedback. Yep, keeping it real on X. A lot of people don't like that, but hey, sorry. That's what I do. What's the big long liquidity? Well, let's take a look. Let's take a look. How low do we go? How low do we go? Wow, look at those. Look at that huge leverage long, 50 million leverage long that was made about 4 hours ago. Got wiped out. Hate to be that guy. Hate to be that guy. But we've got big clusters down here to 88K just below. So that's a target on Bitcoin short term. And let's see where Doge is. There's one big spike right here at 12.2 and then all the way down to 12 cents. Not so big on the 24-hour. Let's see what the 3-day looks like for Doge. Ooh, $11.99 or $11.93, $2 million. $2 million at $11.93. So yeah, but look at this. Look on the short side. Is that, what did I say? $2 million, where there's $3 million of shorts up here at $12.92. $3 million of shorts. Interesting. Gold didn't make it. It closed at 49.83. So 5,000 will have to wait for Sunday night. Who wants to bet against me that gold is not going to hit 5,000 on Sunday night? None of you will take that bet. Guaranteed. None of you will take that bet. Because I say it's a 99% chance that gold will go over $5,000 on Sunday night when the gold market opens up again. No one's going to take that bet against me. It's going to happen. Florida, yeah, well, northern Florida, not South Florida, where I would go. South Florida. I don't mind the humidity. Humidity doesn't bother me, Nick. I'm okay. You just quiet down your body. You move slow. Don't overexert yourself. You'll be fine. I really hope no snowstorm comes when you get them. Hawaii gets hit with rainstorms. Yeah, we're just going to get almost 2 feet of snow Sunday into Monday. It's going to be a lot. Yeah, everyone's talking about copper now. Copper's going to go on a big run. Think silver is going to go up to 110. We could see that. We could see that. Look at that. Even just went higher before closing. See, silver hit a new all-time high right before closing. Gold did not. So I got this at about 103. Let me get that right. 103.33 it looks like. 103.33 on silver. New all-time high. So yeah, we could see that. Next week, maybe. Just going to keep going up. Keep going up. How much you want to bet? Chadwick, you want to bet against me? So let's not say 5,000 Doge because that would be too much, but 5,000 would be the number. How about 50 Doge? 50 Doge. I have a silver coin collection called A Tribute to America's Greatest Silver Coins. Is it time to sell? I think you should probably take a look at the opportunities of selling that. Who would buy that off you? You should probably do a little research on that, just so you know. You don't have to pull the trigger, but I'll bet from the time you bought that to where it is now, it's worth a lot more. Yeah, Florida's got some hurricanes. I wouldn't live on that side. I wouldn't live on the Tampa side, Naples side, the Gulf side. It'd be on the ocean side. They get less coming in that direction. It's a sucker's bet. Yeah, I know. See if Chudwet comes through with it. Yeah, we saw platinum and others going up. Yep. The metals are all going up. Denise, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. If I get lots of snow, half-inch of freezing rain, below freezing temps for the next 5 days, no remote car starter, how does one get into the car? Yeah. If you don't have a garage or some covering for it, I suppose you can, try and find some kind of cover for it. Because particularly with the doors, they could freeze over if you get that freezing rain. That's tough. Yep, that's tough. Not much you can do. Platinum, right? Platinum. Silver was $87 last Friday. Now it's $103. I know, for silver. Silver went sideways for years. We were looking at this chart earlier, and I didn't zoom out enough. That was the next thing I was going to do, was zoom out more, right? Because we did this chart, right? We looked at it. But then you look at it to the monthly, and you can see, like, this whole zone. Let me get that. We had this whole zone right here. So that was 2020 to 2024, 4 years of sideways trading on silver. 4 years of sideways trading. And then before that, we had this other sideways trading here. And that was probably another, from 14 to 20, 6 years of trading just sideways. And that was right below $20. I mean, look at this chart, guys. You wonder why crypto's down. Look at this. And again, this all started a little bit this summer, but then after October, it took off. What happened in October? Flash crash on Bitcoin and crypto. So where did everyone look at this? That's a meme coin. Meme coin. What a crazy chart, huh? No thanks. Yeah, I know. Because it's going to happen. Never buy the coins, buy in bulk. Never pay face value for the coins. I mean, that's why I was telling him, like, maybe shop around a little bit. It's going up to 130, you think? People who bought at $20 now wish they would have bought more. Yep. Who would have thought, right? You had a whole boomer life to load up on silver. I did okay with crypto. 2022 to 2025, that 2.5 years, that was a good run. This, yeah, this is similar. It just did it in a lot shorter time. Silver is the new Doge, right? Right? And look at the volume of trading too, compared to all the years before. And this is a monthly scale, so all the months before. And now look at the trading, just huge. I was surprised when the coin shop didn't pay me more than spot for my sealed new in-package bars. Really? Yeah, I've never tried that. I never thought I'd be buying silver or gold. Just never have. Dump City? I don't know. The way the economy is right now, the way the world is now, I don't think we're going to see like a giant like dump like what Doge did in 2021, like after the big run that Doge had. Because Doge went from 73 down to in the 30s, so dropped in half, and eventually went all the way down to 16. But that would mean that if we had that kind of pullback for silver, we'd be down to $50 or so. It'd be like that. Yeah, I don't see silver doing that. I don't think we're going to see that. Instead, it's going to probably do something like this, right? That's the 111 mark that somebody said earlier. Or it just keeps going parabolic, right? I don't get what's with all the new crypto they keep bringing out. Makes no sense. But it's just people trying to make money. I've been going back and forth with these non-coin people. They're trying to get me to like support their exchange. And I'm like, nope. It's actually, they have the exchange working, their DeFi exchange. It's trading with Solana right now. They're waiting for Doge OS. And somehow they're going to port it over or transfer it all over to Doge. And I'm like, no, that doesn't help Doge though. I mean, I guess you use Doge to swap. I mean, right now they're using Solana. But eventually, if it's on Doge OS, you would use Dogecoin to do your swaps. But it's still for some stupid crap token that doesn't do anything. Oh, but you can launch whatever you want. We don't need any more of that crap. We've lived through that crap for the past few years. We don't need any more of that. And if somebody launches a token, right, on Doge OS through a non-coin and then rugs it, that doesn't look good for Dogecoin. It's on the Dogecoin blockchain. I say, no, we don't need that. But people are going to do what they're going to do. So, yeah. Silver has a lot of use case. That is true. And so does copper. Copper hasn't made this kind of move yet. Yep. Still dumb bringing out so much frickin' new crypto. Agreed. Agreed. Once the price hits the electronics market, watch the price of electronics skyrocket. Oh, yeah, Javier. There is that too, right? Anything that has silver in it is going to cost so much more. I didn't think about that. That's true. Don't like solar panels use silver in them too? That'll make that really expensive. Whew. Yeah, I'm working on a project right now that's going to have solar panels on the roof. We have a budget. That budget may get, we should be buying them in the spring. So those panels should already be made probably, but they'll still up the price. Now that the chat is talking about silver, you're going to sell. You know, it's not a bad idea after this run to maybe take a slice, sell 20% or 50%, some number, take some off the table. It's probably not a bad idea. Yes, I heard what Shake Shack said, that they're now going to, any Bitcoin they receive as payment, they're going to put in a reserve. And I'm like, you could do that with Doge and you would get more, because people are more willing to spend with their Dogecoin than they are with their Bitcoin. But they're just like, whatever. Do not sell your silver. I think silver could run to 200. Woo! RAM and NVIDIA cards will go up. True. Converting over to gold as planned. Oh, you had a plan. Silver to gold, not Bitcoin. You're not rotating into Bitcoin. The Bitcoin maxis are saying rotate into Bitcoin. It's not going to happen. Yeah, exactly. They accept Bitcoin and they're not going to sell the Bitcoin. They're just going to put it in their own reserve. AI is causing this. The run on silver to AI. That's what Grok says. Is AI causing this big run up on the price of silver? Let's see what Grok says to this. This is interesting. I hadn't thought about this, Javier. Yes, AI is a significant contributing factor to the massive run-up in silver prices. Not the sole or even primary cause. It's part of a broader structural demand combined with supply constraints. Key reasons: strong industrial demand. Now about 60% of total silver use. Silver's unmatched electrical and thermal conductivity makes it essential in high-tech applications. Here's PV panels, yes. Electric vehicles, AI and data centers. There it is right there. AI and data centers. This is the newer, rapidly accelerating factor. The AI boom requires massive build-out of server switches, high-density circuit boards, memory chips, power electronics, thermal management materials, and interconnects. It's all silver. Global silver production is largely a byproduct of other mining, so supply hasn't kept pace. Interesting. Safe haven buying, correlating with gold. Speculative momentum, FOMO. Got a lot of FOMO going on right now. Broader electrification and green energy trends. Silver, man. But yeah, AI's role in it is growing. Well, thank you, Javier. That is absolutely correct. Wow. Silver. I work in tech. You guys have seen nothing about AI or the demand on data center. Well, there's been a lot of talk about it. You know, outside of Memphis, there's the Colossus, right? Which is Elon's big XAI Grok learning data center, right? The Colossus. Just by the name alone, Colossus, you know it's an energy hog, right? It's called Colossus. Silver has not reached adjusted all-time highs. You mean for inflation? It should be up at like $190. People had to wait 40 years to finally get their money back. That's true. Commodities are just insane right now. Wow. Facts. I agree, Grinder. Absolutely agree. And here we had a Dogecoin live stream all set up, and we've spent more time talking about silver than Doge. I guess that's the market today, right? Nobody wants to talk about altcoins. There's no question about ETH or Solana or Cardano. We had that stupid fake VP talking about SHIB, which is a joke. But nobody wants to talk about any of these other cryptos. There's nothing going on. Look at XRP. It's like nothing. Nothing going on. That's just not a good chart, right? Not a good chart. And it's all of them. It's everything is down. Look at VeChain. It's all down. Some of these have dropped like all-time lows. All-time lows. Arbitrum. Look at Arbitrum, 17 cents. You zoom out and you scroll back and you're like, it's never been this low. It launched at 50 cents. It went all the way up to $2, over $2. And now it's 17 cents, the lowest it's ever been. But yet, Arbitrum has utility. It's got big, like, total value locked, right? But yet the price is the lowest it's ever been. But nobody wants to talk about that. They want to talk about silver. Lowest all time ever. Bitcoin dominance is still hanging right below 60%. So no alt season, right? All these crypto Twitter like moon boys, alt season, alt season, alt season. It's like, nope, there's no alt season. There's no alt season. So if silver keeps going up, it will create huge inflation. We can't afford stuff anymore. Well, at least those things, right? The solar panels and the electronics. You just can't upgrade your phone without paying double, right? Or any other electronic things. I guess it's in everything though, right? Electronics. They're kind of in everything. Yeah, what's going on with copper? I don't know the copper chart. I've never looked at it. People have been saying it's just been going sideways. Is this it right here? XCU USD. Let's see. No, copper prices have to go back further than 1999. That doesn't look right. Copper futures, that's only 2016. Yeah, I just don't know. Copper CFD on the Forex. No, none of these go back far enough. Yeah, I don't know what is the long-standing copper chart on TradingView. I guess if I look at it enough, right, I'll find something that goes back earlier. Never looked for it before. Because none of these go back far enough. Yeah, I don't know. I'll look for one for next time that we can share on. Yeah, 1999, 63 cents, and now it's $6. Yeah, that won't be on TradingView there, low roller. I'll look at that because that's not, from what I've heard about the price of copper, those charts don't really show much, but it could be. Could be. Pepe. So every time Pepe looks like it's about to go on a run, it pulls back. It's now back to 0.00005 again, right? You get these wicks on the 4-hour chart, and it just pulls back each time. This was the top resistance line at the beginning of the year. Pepe went on a big run from the pullback it had from October to the end of the year, end of 2025. At that point, Pepe went up 70%. 70%. And now it's lost probably half of that, typically. Just about. Down 30%. It's down 30% in 2 weeks for Pepe. What's the best buy price? Is it back in the 4s or touchdown in the 3s like it did back here? That was middle of December. You could have bought Pepe in the 3s. Are we going to see that kind of a pullback? Pepe will still go on big runs, but it needs a bull market. It doesn't do anything on its own. It needs a meme coin rally is what it needs. Looking for further corrections. I mean, if you're looking at gold or silver, I mean, do you jump in and buy at $100 or $5,000 for gold at the top of this huge meme coin like run? The fear of it, of having a big pullback, the correction, as you say, that's kind of there. The gold and silver influencers are making money, probably. Probably lower. Am I going to buy another house with Doge? I won't have enough Doge to buy another house probably unless Doge goes to like $5. Because you got to have that capital. It's all wrapped up in this house. Now, if I sell this house and buy another one, I could do that. But $594. Well, then that's what we had on that chart. It just didn't go back far enough, right? You're $597. So that's the chart. But if you zoom out on this chart, it doesn't look flat to me. It looks like it's been consistently going up since early 2024. Now, it had a big drop here in the summer of 2025. I don't know what that was for, but it recovered and then some. That doesn't look like sideways trading to me for copper. It's going up. Let's see, since the drop in August, copper's up 34%. So, yeah, someone's in on this. Someone's in on that. Bitcoin's not going up. Bitcoin going down. And my prediction was Bitcoin would go lower for the month of January. This was my prediction for Bitcoin, if you remember. I made this on New Year's Eve. I made this prediction for Bitcoin. So far, it's kind of following it. Kind of following it. Rotating back into crypto. Where's the crypto bottom, though? I mean, you could start taking profits now on gold and silver, and maybe you space them out, right? To just take slices, and then you hold your cash until you think crypto bottoms out. Now, I think it's going to be late summer 2026. I don't know for sure, but I've seen patterns of that before. And that's what I'm looking at. Your average on SHIB is at 45. So you're down a little bit. Eventually it'll go back up. Oh, no, wait, it hit 5. You're in profit, Pepe. Sorry, yeah, Pepe's at 5 now. I just take out those first 5 zeros, right? Yeah, so you're in a little bit of profit. I think it might drop below that, though. You can always dollar cost average and get another billion, right? David, Bitcoin drops 40 to 60. Yeah, I think it'll touch the 60s. Javier, 60s. Yeah. I see the same for Bitcoin. Might start DCAing again, playing it safe. Yeah, it's tough. Here in the beginning of 2026, it's tough. Me too, Gurinder. I'm not buying any more Doge right now. I'm holding what I got. I'm not doing any swing trading or any of that. My focus right now is paying my taxes, dealing with all that stuff. Have some plans for moving stuff around. Not financial wise, just house wise. And still working really hard, trying to get stuff done. So, yeah, that's where I go. All right, guys. Hey, look, Dogecoin right around 12.5 cents. This seems to be the level. It's kind of the median between all these ups and downs. I'll be live again on Monday. If there's something crazy that happens over the weekend and I'm available, I might pop on for a live stream. I'll probably have a video coming out sometime over the weekend as well. So look for that. Now, I'm not going to be on tomorrow, Low Roller. Not planning on being on tomorrow. I'm Monday, Wednesday, and Friday now. You have to set your calendars. Set your reminders. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, with the occasional mixed in live stream when something crazy is going on. So anyway, I hope everyone has a great Friday. See how the weekend goes. It's going to be cold here in Boston, and we're going to get a crap ton of snow. But that's life in New England. I hope everybody's all right. We'll see you next time.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.